How many of you have Spotify or TikTok downloaded? Or maybe do you have Snapchat or Twitter? All of these apps have one important thing in common. Actually, in today's business model, it's what drives their success. They all have convoluted terms and conditions. Today we will discuss just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to privacy issues in the digital age, specifically the issues with terms and conditions. It is important as consumers that we understand what we are signing up for when we blindly agree to terms and conditions. We have all done it. None of us read the terms and conditions, or if we do, not thoroughly. But we effectively give one app complete access to everything that happens on our phone, without even knowing what that is. Being a tech major, I've talked extensively about this with my peers and professors. I've been doing research on it since I became a tech major about 2 years ago, and that research has just become more updated. We will discuss the common issues with current terms and conditions and some solutions that we should pressure legislature to put into use. So let's dive into the specifics of the harms of not respecting consumer digital rights. The problem with terms and conditions is that they're too convoluted for the average consumer to understand. The document is simply too many words or too complex of words for us to be expected to read. It took researchers 31 hours to read the terms and conditions of 30 apps, which is far less than we have on our phone at any one time. This was a Norwegian study that was reported by ABC News. There was another study in which 98% of people blindly agreed to the terms and conditions, but the terms and conditions it stated that they were giving up their firstborn child to the company. That was just a study and not a real company, but it goes to show the lengths that it can go without us even knowing. So now that we understand what is wrong with terms and conditions, let's discuss what can be done about it. There are ways for us to be protected as consumers, but we need the help of government in order to do so. We need the government to regulate terms and conditions of big tech companies. I am proposing digital rights to be more pertinent in the government and possibly even an agency just dedicated to digital rights on their own. This solution of terms and conditions would make a document more practical to read through. I'm suggesting a interactive terms and conditions or simply a word limit on terms and conditions. The interactive model would be about 10 to 15 short statements depending on the app that the consumer would go through and agree or disagree to. Also, disagreeing to one statement does not refuse your access to the app. You may be worried about government intervention with digital rights, and that's a real concern. But the solutions I'm proposing wouldn't give the government access to any more of your data than they already have. This would simply be putting the pressure on the companies that we're currently giving everything to. It would be on the companies to only ask for access for what they need. And the government would simply be regulating those documents to ensure that they're better made for the consumer and not for the lawyers. The only people in charge of protecting us as of right now is the companies that are making money directly from our personal data. I'm simply proposing that we take back our data. We know which apps have access to which parts of our personal and identifiable information. So what do these newly enacted federal bills look like? Now it's time to imagine our future. We have all gone through our Zoom graduations and COVID-19 is completely eradicated, and you go to download the next best music app. After signing up for the app, the terms and conditions pop up. You don't hit agree, you hit view terms, and 10 statements pop up. You know what each statement means, why the app wants access to it, and you get to agree or disagree to it. Unlike Spotify, it currently has access to your photos, but no one knows why. And that the Spotify quote is from Lomas. Any access the app wants to your data, you know why. You control why. For those of you who say, I don't care about my data, they can have it. Think about a Snapchat you sent to your friend. It doesn't have to be anything explicit, it's just a Snapchat, but it's not for others' eyes. It's for your friend. Think about that and allow me to read you something from Snapchat. Snapchat, its affiliates, and its business partners have unrestricted and perpetual right to use your name, likeness, and voice for any reason without your knowledge. We need to take control of our data. That's all I'm asking is for you to put the pressure on your legislators. If you see a bill come through regarding privacy rights, actually read it and agree with it. Thank you.